Hi family, welcome back to Beck's Flavor. Today we are making these delicious flaky chicken pie that I know you are going to absolutely love. So let's get started. To get started, I have got some plain flour here and I'm going to add in some salt and then some baking powder. Then I am going to grate in some nutmeg. You can use the fresh one or the powdered one. It works equally fine. Then I'm just going to mix everything nicely together before I add the other ingredients. I'm going to list everything in the description box below, so please do check that out. I am now going to be adding in some unsalted butter. If you're going to add salted butter, then please be careful with the salt that you're going to be using, okay? Then I'm going to be mixing this together. I will make sure that I mix this quite quickly. If you have a pastry cutter, which I do have, but I wanted to show you, if you don't have one, you can just use your hand, but please be quick because you don't want to melt the butter with your warm hands. Now you want this consistency, very grainy consistency, and you still want some of the butter to be in between the flour, okay? So when you know that you have a good consistency, is you're going to be folding it up or putting it together, making sort of like a ball, and if it sticks, it's good. If it falls back together, then that is good. You can see the butter in there. Yes, that's what you want. This is what is going to make your pie crust very flaky, okay? So make sure that you have some butter in between the flour, okay? And of course, to make it extra buttery and flaky, you're going to be adding in some whole milk. You can use water, but I find that using whole milk makes it extra flaky and of course very lovely in taste. So to make sure that you have the right consistency, please add the milk gradually as I am doing now, okay? Don't add the milk all at once, and also try not to overwork your dough. So be gentle with your hands, quite light-handed, okay? You want this to fold nicely together without you kneading it. Please don't knead the dough because then you're going to activate the gluten and you will not have a flaky crust, okay? You can see that I am adding the milk sort of around it, not on the dough that is already formed, okay? So please be careful on not using too much milk. So to make sure that I am not overworking the dough, I'm just going to divide it into two and then form this into a ball, or just form it round so that I don't overwork this dough, okay? So once this is done, I am going to be placing this in the fridge for it to chill because I don't want the butter to melt at all, okay? And then I will get started with my filling. So in my frying pan, I'm just adding in some vegetable oil. You can use any oil of your choice. And to this, I am adding in some garlic and some onions. You can use as much onions as you like, but we're not a very big fan of onions in this house, so we don't use a lot of onions in our pie specifically. I'm just going to fry this for about 1 to 2 minutes until it's nice and fragrant. So now I'm going to be adding in my chicken. This is chicken thigh fillet, and I have sort of cut this up in smaller chunks because I don't want a big chunk in my pie. So this is what I do, but if you like big chunks, then by all means go for this option, okay? I am going to be adding in some chicken stock seasoning, some black pepper. You can also use fresh pepper if that's what you prefer. and some all-purpose seasoning, a little bit of salt, and now just mix everything together and allow this to fry until it's nice and golden brown. So after about 5-7 minutes, I am going to be adding in my carrot. You can use any vegetable of your choice, or if you don't want to use any vegetable, that is also fine. I'll then add in some water, and then I am going to be adding in some cornstarch. Okay, so I have mixed a tablespoon of cornstarch, and I'm going to be mixing this together in the filling. Okay, this is going to make the filling nice and moist. It's not going to be dry when it's inside the pie. Okay, so I'm going to mix this up quickly and allow this to sit on the fire for about 5 more minutes until I get that nice thick consistency, as you can see now. Now it's ready, so what I will do is I'll just take it off the fire and allow this to cool off a little bit before I put this into my pie. As you can see, it is nice consistency, exactly how I like it, and it's going to be moist and totally not dry. Okay, so here I have got 1 egg, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of milk into this, mix everything together, and this is what I'm going to be using to brush onto my pie and to also use it to seal my pie as well. I added the milk because it gives it a nice color to it as well. So I've now taken my dough out of the fridge. It's been chilling nicely and the butter is not melted, so I am guaranteed a flaky crust. To my work surface, I'm going to be adding in some flour, not too much, just enough so that your dough does not stick. And what I do is I don't like to use the rolling pin like at the first stage, and I like to take smaller bits, okay, because like I said, I don't want to activate the gluten. Okay, I want my crust to be flaky, so I'll take as much as I need so that I don't have to overwork the dough, if that makes sense. Okay. This is the thickness that I want mine to be. If you want a thicker pie, then by all means go for it. I've got here these squared patterns that I'm going to be using. You can use any bowl, any shape that you have. I'll link this in the description box below. I've got this from Amazon. It's quite handy. There's like 4 in the pack. It's got like smaller shapes and bigger shapes, so you can choose any shapes that you want. So I'm going to be using the egg mixture that I made just to make sure that my pie is sealed so it doesn't come out when it's baking in the oven. And then of course I'm going to be adding in my filling. Then I will close up my pie using my fingers to make some indentation into the pie because I just like the way it looks. Okay, you can use a fork to do so, but you can just use your fingers because like I say, I like the way it looks when I use my finger to seal this off. And yes, that's it. Super easy, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the remaining. And please make sure that you're not taking too much dough so that you're overworking the dough. Okay, just take a little bit of dough so that you're not sort of taking too much and then working it and then overworking the dough. Okay. And here they are. I have finished with all my pies, and of course they are looking good and I can't wait. I'm just going to pierce some holes in it with a fork just to make sure that it can vent whilst it's in the oven. And then I'm going to egg wash this with the egg mixture and a little bit of milk that I made earlier. Be nice and generous is going to make your pie looks nice and golden brown. I'm going to be baking this in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes on 160 degrees Celsius until they are nice and golden brown, just like this. I know you can smell this through your screen because they are too good, and you need to give this a try. Okay, so do let me know if you do give this a try in the comment section below. Let me know, what will you pair with this? What drink are you going to have with these pies? Please give me a thumbs up, like this video, share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. And don't forget that life is too short, so live your best life. I love you so much for watching, and thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. I am going to have my pie. Take care of yourself. Bye.